Welcome to module number 6. Imagine that, the last one in this program. The last one meaning we will also look at everything we've already learned, and in this module we're going to provide the structures, the habits, the tools to make all the learnings we have stick. So the goal of this module is I have the structures I need for being a master of my time. Let's start with summarize all the things you've learned for the last few weeks. Some of the things you've learned, you actually already knew, you just need to be reminded. Other things, you had a hunch that it was the right one, you just needed it confirmed. And some things might be completely new. So now that we are acting as masters of our time, we know for sure that we have a glass of time every week. We have 24 hours, 7 days a week, 168 hours a week. This is the unit we have been focusing on the whole program, and we will continue focusing on it because it's the everyday life that we want to create for you that is really, really good. So we have our glasses of time. Another thing that we know now for sure is that we are the ones filling it, and we are responsible to make sure it contains what we want in it. We no longer, masters of time, do not hide behind the excuse, I don't have time. Neither do masters of time just accept anything to be filled in their glasses and blame others. So that means if someone asks, can you do this? We don't immediately answer yes or I don't have time. Instead we think, okay, do I want this in my glass? And then based on what our beliefs are, we will answer that. We are in charge of what's in our glasses. No more victims of circumstances. No more, well, I just have to do what everyone else is asking me to do. We are the leaders of our own lives, the masters of our time. We are in charge for what is in our glasses. We have also learned that whatever we have in our glasses, we can divide what it is into 4 categories. Some things will fit into more than one. We know that we have needs time in our glasses. We know the reason to have it there. We know if we don't have enough of it, we will also have waste time in our glasses. Time that just goes to waste, either in a manner that seems very obvious, like waste, like getting stuck in social media, Netflix, just like hanging around doing nothing, or in ways that might not seem like waste at first glance, like doing things that don't really matter. Being busy. We're just busy being busy, thinking that of course it's good if I check the mail again, fold the clothes a little bit more neatly, but just do things, but we deep down we know it doesn't really make a difference. You're just busy being busy. That's also waste, the other category of time. One more way to get rid of the waste is to have the want in our glasses. The wants, the passions, the things that give us energy, the things that we really love doing, the things that make us us. Wants are in our glasses not only to reduce the waste, but also to really be the masters of our time, the ones that choose how we use our time, not just doing things that we or others might think we should, but we do what we want. And this is how we avoid becoming robots. We avoid going on autopilot. We avoid being bitter later on in life because there were all these things we wanted to do and they just vanished. So this is the ones that make us thrive, not just survive. Fourthly, we talked about the perceived musts or the shoulds. And at this point in the program, we know that there is no such thing. There is no such thing as you have to do this, you have to do that. It is more a choice of what we want to do. We know that, okay, if I don't do this, the consequences will be really bad. So it's better for us to consider the choice, because it is, than to say I have to, I should. Because when we start thinking about it as choices, we even more confirm that we are the leaders, we are the masters. We're not just following what has to be done. We are choosing to do things. And by now, you have also looked into all these things that you do, all the shoulds and the musts that you might have seen them as before. You looked at the values, what does it give to me, and the cost. If the cost is too high, then you've made a change. Either you decided that, no, then it's not worth it, I'll just live with this. Or you were really creative in different ways and found ways to reduce the costs. Great ways here is to ask for help, delegate, put in time, money, just changing a little bit the ambition level, questioning what you've always been doing. So now you have enough rest, none or minimum waste, wants, and choices in your glasses. That's where we are today. Masters of our time. Now, let's look at how we can make this stick. Make it stick by using two tools, structures, if you want to call it that. One is planning, the other one is daily questions. The planning is helping us prepare, look ahead, and be proactive, and not being completely unrealistic about what we can and cannot do. And the daily questions will keep us on track. How are we doing? Is it working? Is it something we need to change? So let's start with the planning. I want you to have two levels of plan. You will plan weekly. Every week you will plan the next week. You will plan it to detail so that you feel prepared. And monthly, I want you to look at a month ahead. So every week you look 1 month ahead and you plan it. You don't prepare in detail. You just plan to make sure you don't have colliding activities. I will go into more detail. Looking at your week. You have a week, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. This is, of course, I believe most of you will have some kind of plan and schedule already today, at least for work, most likely. These plans or scheduling that I'm talking about now is for your whole life, for your whole glass, I should say, maybe not your whole life, it's for your whole glass. So we're going to make sure that when you plan every week, you're going to plan your needs. If you think this, oh, Annika, I don't have to plan when I sleep, it's up to you. The reason for planning in needs is to make sure we understand how much time they require, and is to make sure we don't down prioritize them or think that we can skip them. So I will plan in needs time in green. It's something that's good for us, the basis. So what should we include in needs? You know it? Sleep time. Let's put in sleep time. This is then, we'll use Anna again. We had Anna in our last module. Anna realizes that for her, sleeping is good for her to sleep 6-7 hours a day. And sometimes she sleeps a little less during the week, and then she compensates during the weekend. By the way, I'm not saying Anna is perfect or that her schedule is optimized at all. She's just an example. There's lots of more optimization to be done here. So let's say she sleeps on Monday mornings, not very long, but she does. On the other hand, she goes to bed reasonably early then to be able to get up early the day after. Saturdays and Sundays, she sleeps a bit longer in the morning, and then she allows herself to go to bed later. Other needs for Anna and for all of us, making sure we eat properly. Now, for Anna, that means breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She doesn't care about It's like a snack. Someone else might think that is a good idea to introduce an apple. And even if she does, she doesn't put it into her schedule. But she does put into the schedule that she's having breakfast. On the weekends, she decides, or she and her husband find it a much better idea to have brunch. And then the whole family gathers a bit longer, and no one has to get up really early, and still they will get enough food. Every second day, Anna brings a lunchbox to work. And every second day, she goes out to eat with her colleagues in more like a restaurant. And on Fridays, she has lunch with her husband, who happens to be able to also be at lunch at the same time, and they're close to each other. In the evenings, they have dinner, and they find it important to have family dinners. Sometimes Anna misses them because, as you know, she works overtime, and she's chosen that it's work that is worth it. So now she has breakfast on a daily basis. Of course, she has lunch. She has brunches on the weekends, and she has dinner. The family dinners take a bit longer in the weekend. In addition, she knows that to make this happen in a good way, she wants to plan the food. So she makes a weekly menu. So on Sundays, she sits down and decides, okay, what are we going to eat day by day during this week? What needs to be shopped? When are we going to shop it? Who's going to cook? Is it me? Is it my husband? Will the kids help out? Will we sometime go to our parents and eat there? Whatever. That kind of planning she adds on Sundays. That's how Anna is doing it. Again, Anna is an example. You can do whatever else you want. Another thing that Anna needs is to move. Move. That's the way she's moving with biking, walking, and yoga. That's her thing. The yoga, she goes to a class. She enjoys going to the class rather than just doing it at home. So that she does on her Saturday mornings. She has also figured out a way that when she doesn't bring the kids, but she picks them up, then she can bike to work. So she bikes every second day, approximately. And then she walks her child to the piano instead of doing it any other way. So Anna has put in her needs in her calendar. Now, I'd like you to do the same. When you plan your week, put in also your needs. The sleeping, the moving, the eating. These things are good to have structured and not just as a happening. You could, of course, choose to have it more as a list. Today I will move, today I will eat, today I will sleep. But I suggest that at least until it has become such a big part of you to always take care of yourself, until then, scheduling it and marking it for yourself is a good support. So put the needs into your weekly plan. So let's go to the choices that used to be called musts. The choices, the things we've chosen to do. Now, for Anna, she has chosen to work, and that is taking a big part of her week is work. So I'm marking that with orange. And as you might remember from a previous example with Anna, she tends to work more than the 40 hours, and she has decided that it's worth it. So sometimes she also works from home in the evening. So sure, it takes a lot of her daytime to work and some of her evenings as well. Another thing that she chooses to do, even though this, as you might remember, she chose to do less going forward, keeping the home tidy. Not her favorite pastime. Still, she has now figured out how to do it a little bit less than she used to. So she decides that every second day she's doing something with the house. So on Mondays, she's tidying the first floor. On Wednesdays, she's tidying the ground floor. On Fridays, she's taking care of the laundry. If this doesn't seem like a realistic schedule to you, remember that she might have found lots of ways. Maybe her husband takes care of laundry the other days. Maybe she has a person coming over and doing it. So, an example. So we're adding here that she's taking care of the cleaning every second day, tidying of the house and the laundry. Bringing kids and picking up kids, also part of what she chooses to do. So every second day she brings them, every second day she picks them up. She's also bringing them to activities, like her youngest is playing the piano, and Anna goes with her to walks then, and then she chooses to walk. That also gives her a need. Walks the youngest to the piano, and the oldest goes to football practice. She brings him there, they say that's a he. And there's always a football game on a weekend. She does that too. Other things that she chooses to do, and this is where this whole thing about the business cases and how to make it effective comes in. The reason why we plan needs is to make sure we do them. We should not down prioritize them. The reason we really plan the choices is to do them in an efficient way. You will notice that some things are better to do a little every day. Some things are better to do once a week. Some might be better to do once a month. Figure out what works for you. This is something that you will do over time, figure out what's good. And actually the planning and the daily questions will help you figure it out. Anna has noticed that it's good for her to keep track of her cash flow every week. So what did I spend? How much money will I have for the next week? And what did I put everything on? So for her, it's good to keep. It's a bookkeeping that she needs to do, because she's also having a business on the side, and then it's extra important to keep the money intact and knowing how it is. So bookkeeping, other administrative things, whatever has accumulated during the week, that there was this letter that needed to be sent, or planning the dentist time. So administration, bookkeeping once a week, for her that works. Anna also puts it in as a choice to call mommy once a week. Mommy's fine, but getting elderly it's extra important to check that she's really okay every week. So it's a reminder. Doesn't mean that she cannot call her any other time, but then she remembers at least once a week, I'm going to talk to my mommy. Did she have any more? Well, another thing that they do, but they do it monthly, is uncluttering the house. So that they notice that there's no point in doing that regularly, because it takes time. When they unclutter the house in Anna's household, they look at the things that they no longer need. It can be toys that the boys and girls are no longer using. It can be something that is broken. It can be that they actually have too much of something, and they notice now that they clean up the house that, well, we have 3 of these. We don't need all of them. So they have once a month, they have an uncluttering day. During the uncluttering day, they go through the things and they give them away, they sell, or they throw them away. And this is making it the house easier to clean on a weekly basis when they have this bigger uncluttering every month. So these are examples of Anna's schedule when she has added needs and the choices she's making. So remember, we plan needs to make sure we do them, otherwise we will add waste. We plan choices to do them efficiently, and there will be different ways of doing the choices that will be efficient. Find your way. Start by adding it in the calendar now and then adjust. So we have the needs, we have the choices. What's left? Let's use a passionate color, the wants. Now, when you've filled all this in, you might feel that, hey, Annika, there's a lot of colors here, very little white. Or as you might feel, there's very little left in the glass for my wants. Well, first of all, we should remember some things can be both needs and wants. So for Anna, biking to work is also a want, because what she does, not only does she enjoy biking, she also loves the opera. So she listens to opera while biking. For her, that is a fantastic thing. Similarly, this passion for music is something that makes her really want to go with her daughter to the piano lesson and sit there and listen. Even though it's not like listening to a perfect opera, it still brings her joy. Thirdly, she loves the family dinners. That really makes her happy. She loves her yoga, and she loves at least half of everything she does at work. Well, we know that. She's even working overtime because she decided it's worth it. So actually, it's even more. Maybe it's 75% of work is want, not just something she chooses to do because she feels that if she doesn't, it'll have too bad consequences. She actually wants it. So remember, a lot of the things that you've already planned in are your wants. Also remember, since we have taken care of your needs and we are taking care of your wants, there is going to be very little waste. So these white dots here, you will be able to use them. They won't just be blending into something and be gone. So Anna loves reading, for instance. So every night before she goes to bed, she reads. Not lots, maybe a chapter, but she reads regularly, and that makes her happy. She adds music into her life wherever she can. Even when she's cleaning, that's when she also puts on really loud an opera, which makes her kids go like, oh, "Mom!" No, but she loves it. It makes her happy. Then it's way easier and funnier to do this vacuum cleaning stuff. And these hours here and there, she is using them very consciously, especially a bigger block of time on her Saturdays to set to increase that side business she secretly really wants to have, because she creates crafts, and she's already giving things away very often, and people really love what she's doing. She's selling to a few friends and friends of friends, and she's really like, I can make something bigger of that. So that she dedicates 3 hours a week to. She knows that, sure, if she would spend 40 hours a week doing that, she would move faster. But 3 hours a week is also bringing her closer and closer to her goal every day. Or every week, anyway. So this is what I want you to do in your calendar every week. So you don't have to do it like several weeks ahead now, but put into 1 week ahead at least your needs, sleep, eat, move, your choices, whatever that is, related to work, family, house, whatever it is that's important to you, and your wants. And remember that maybe you can tweak some of the choices you have so that they become wants. Listening to music, reading, doing it together with a friend, doing it with your children, or putting children to bed, by the way, is a want for Anna. She loves listening to what they've been doing through the day. And you make use of the hours you have here and there. Now that you have the energy, now that you know what you want, or know that you can add your wants into your glasses, actually, if you don't, you will suffer from it. You want to be this passionate person, not the robotic person. So you are going to add wants. And what you can achieve with that can be tremendous, especially if you look at it over time. That was the weekly planning. Now I'll just explain shortly the monthly plan as well. So don't worry if you think that, oh goodness, I don't want to be this detailed on a monthly level, even though of course it's super easy to do all of this in today's tools. If you have your calendar in a digital format, all you do is, a recurring event and it's all in there. But what I mean when I say monthly planning is that you look ahead. So say that like Anna does it on Sundays, and then she looks ahead. She's prepared her week, the way we just looked at, and she looks at the 3 weeks after that to the end of the month or a month ahead. And she looks at, are there any collisions? And then she knows like, yeah, a Sunday, 2 weeks from now, her youngest will go to a birthday party. And at the same time, this collides with her yoga class. So already now she prepares so that someone else can bring the youngest. Maybe it's her husband, maybe it's someone else. She also puts into her calendar the monthly one that, oh yeah, remember to buy a present for that birthday party. And of course, Anna does this in a lot more detail in her work calendar. So then she might see that business trip she has, it happens to be at the same time as a steering group meeting, and she has a presentation. So Either she delegates and prepares a presentation, talks to someone else who brings the presentation, or she talks really early to those planning the agenda for the steering group meeting that please put my presentation in the next steering group meeting. This will make a lot of things easier. It's going to make you less rushes, like, oh yeah, I have to fix a present for the birthday party, or like, oh no, I'm going to miss the yoga because I have to do this and that. You will be prepared, and not only will you be prepared, you will be able to prepare others. And when you prepare others, when others get to understand that, okay, she is looking ahead, then their demands on your time will reduce, because they know you will take care of it. So when you go saying, no, sorry, I can't do it this week, but I will happily do it next week and it will be done by Wednesday, they know they can count on it. They know you're not going to come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, it was so much. I thought I could, but I ran out of time, because that's not happening to you anymore. And as you are prepared for every week, as you are having a look out a month ahead, you will be able to deal with all these things. People will be able to trust you, and they will automatically let you deal with your own time. And even if they don't, you are going to deal with your time. Remember that. Remember that no one else has the right to put stuff into your glass. It's your glass, no one else. Right? Now, you might feel that, Annika, Jesus, this, what? You're talking about robot. I'm going to turn into a robot. What if I want to do something different one day? And I'm going to go with that. It's planning. Remember, planning is everything. Plans are nothing. The plan in itself is there to guide you, not restrict you. Of course, you might wake up one day and it's that day, or Anna wakes up and she's going to go biking to work and she feels like, I'm about to get a cold. I should probably take it a bit easy. Today I'll go by car. Fine, not a big deal. Or when life happens and you're nice planning, I was going to do this, I was going to do that, and it turns out that the piano teacher is sick today and then they want to move it to Wednesday, that's fine, because you already know how your Wednesday looks and you can more easily handle it. So don't worry, don't feel restricted, don't feel like, oh God, I don't want to plan my whole life. Don't worry about it. This is there to help you, not to make you a super structured person who cannot be spontaneous. It's actually the other way around. When you know how it looks, when you have the structure, then there is much easier for you to be spontaneous, because you know you still will be able to take care of the rest. You know what's there. It's not just like it's a happening, what's happening. Some things will be happening and the rest will be in a structure. Use the planning to help you, not to limit you. Okay? Now let's look at the second tool, the daily questions. So the planning helps us look ahead, helps us be in control of what's in our classes. Now, during this course, we have not only learned about the types of time, we've also learned the importance of a number of habits. The gratitude, the not saying I don't have time, the standing up for ourselves, respecting our time, respecting ourselves, etc. Also, we have introduced habits to increase our energy, but who knows if they will continue doing so? And what if you start slipping? That's what daily questions are there for, to see how it works and help you see when it's time to make a change. The concept daily questions I read about first in this book, Triggers by Marshall Goldsmith. He applies it himself, and he says that the important thing is to not rate yourself as in did I achieve something or not, but in did I do my best to. Did I do my best to? So for us, the questions will be like, did I do my best to increase my energy today? Did I do my best to stand up for my time? Did I do my best to take responsibility for what's in my glass? Those kind of questions. And when you fill them in on a daily basis, you will over time have a table looking similar to this. If you can't see it, never mind, you're going to have it in the text that I provide to you. Actually, you're not going to have exactly this one because I suggest a somewhat different one. But it says, did I do my best to, and these are then examples from Marshall Goldsmith, set clear goals. Did I do my best to find meaning? Did I do my best to be happy? Did I do my best to build positive relationships? And he has a long list of questions, and he rates it whether or not he did his best on a scale from 1 to 10. I suggest that you don't use the scale 1 to 10, but instead color code it in a less, so to not make it so granular and so difficult or overdone, in my opinion. Everyone has their own way. So what my husband and I have been doing for quite some time is that we use a color coding. Green, yes, I did my best. I did my best. I really did whatever, all I could. And then yellow, well, in this case orange, but yellow, I really tried, but it kind of, then there were other things that came in between, so I could have done more. I could have done my best more. And then red, in this case pink, but fine. Red was like, oh, I forgot all about it. I didn't even try. What this will give you over time, because you will do it on a daily basis, and you will look, and you will, after a while, you might see trends. Maybe you see that I'm really good at standing up for myself nowadays. I'm so happy. I'm still really lousy at moving. What do I need to change to make it really happen? Or this seems to go really well. It's always green, except weekends. Then I mess this up, or I forget about it because everything else is happening. So this is your tool to keep yourself on track, to see trends and see when you need to change something. In the text and in the exercises, I will provide the questions I think you should start with. Then in your life, you might add questions after a while. It's like, this is really important for me to continue doing. Now, how are you going to make sure you answer the questions? Actually, Marshall Goldsmith himself, he says that he has a woman, he is paying a woman who is not like, I don't know if she's a relative, but it didn't sound like it. He's paying a woman to call him every day and say, hi, have you done your daily questions? And then he says, yes, I did it. And he answers all the things. And he says, people ask me, why do I pay someone to do something as trivial as that? And he says, because this is hard. Keeping yourself accountable for something is really hard. You need someone else. So it's really great if you have someone around you who will ask you, how did it go with your daily questions today? Be it your children, a friend, someone who calls you up, or if it is someone you feel like I should talk to that person a lot more often than I do, maybe you can combine it. Maybe that person you haven't talked to, like, hey, let's talk once a day, and when we do, ask me about I will tell you about my daily questions. So daily questions will keep you on track. You'll find more information, or at least you will see examples in the text for this module. Wrap up the final module in this program. We have reminded ourselves about everything we've learned throughout this program. And we have found 2 ways to introduce structures to keep this sticking, to make sure that everything you've learned will stick in your life. You're going to do weekly plannings from now on. And the weekly plan will prepare you for the week. It's not limiting you, it's helping you, and you can deviate whenever you want. You will also look every week at 4 of those, but in less detail, to look at the monthly plan. A monthly plan is what makes you proactive. A monthly plan will make you more efficient because you will be able to take care of a lot of different things simply by looking at them in advance, making sure they don't collide, and if they do, you find ways to manage it. As I said, you can deviate from your plan anytime, and to make sure that you're not completely deviating from everything that you've set up to do, getting enough needs, getting the wants there, having smart choices in your glasses with low costs and high value, you will also use these daily questions where you ask yourself, did I do my best to in the areas that are important to you? And you will answer in color coding And you will look over time that where do I end up with not so much green, and what can I do to change it? Congratulations, you are now masters of your time. You have the structures in place to continue being it, and I'm looking forward to see all the things you're going to be able to do, because there's going to be plenty. I already see by the time that we're at this place in the program, I already see so much progress, and it's just going to continue. So do the exercises and we will wrap up together, and it's going to be so fun to see this happening. Good luck, do the exercises. Bye bye for now.